4 tips for artists that'll help you out in the long run more than you even realize. Hey, hello, hi, I go by Versillz. That's VERSXLLZ, or you can just call me Victoria. I'm an 18-year-old artist and aspiring small business owner, just informing you of what I've learned so far. This is for the people who frequently experience burnout, lack of motivation and creativity, as well as self-worth. This is a story about my experience being an artist for my whole high school career. I had an amazing art teacher who personally focused on her students and their work, even those who were just there for their elective. She was a sweetheart, really. But anyway, I remember setting up my first art booth at my local double-decker festival. Well, it wasn't technically mine, it was more so our art club's booth, but each of us had our own little section displaying our favorite pieces for tourists to buy. And my dumb ass waited until the last minute to get my portion done due to the fear of exposure, and my mom was pissed about it, but she still supported me. We went to my local Walgreens, I think it was the night before, and printed 5 5x7 copies each of 2 of my favorite pieces. You may be wondering why I printed such a small quantity. Well, my confidence was so low, I doubted I'd sell any, really. I took a photo of my prints lying out on my desk and posted it on my Insta story promoting them to my peers, and 2 of them showed up for me, which was really sweet. By the end of the night, I sold 3 prints of one piece and 1 of the other, going for $15 each. Despite feeling disappointed in the piece that didn't do so well, earlier a lady pulled me to the side while I was sitting at the booth in awe of the piece that actually did do really well. She asked to exchange numbers with me to buy the original for her daughter as a gift the next day since it was getting late. We met up at Walmart with my mom alongside me since I was a minor, of course, and she told me to give her a price. We agreed on $60 even though she thought it could go for more. I was just so grateful that anyone would be this appreciative of my art to the point where they'd want the original. We exchanged hugs and went our separate ways. That experience brought so much warmth to my heart. The lesson I learned from this experience is that sometimes you have to force yourself to share your art and put yourself out there to get the exposure you crave and need. So what if it doesn't go as well as you planned? Someone will like it, so why not give it a try? I have taken every single art class that was offered at my school. The first one happened to be Drawing 1. Every week for the first quarter, my art teacher would introduce us to new techniques like hatching, stippling, scribbling, etc., etc. I actually have a finished assignment that I scanned in from one of my old sketchbooks right here. As you can tell, stippling was kinda sorta my favorite. Since we had the same art teacher for every subject, you can guess that she had the same teaching style. Because of this, every class I took with her consisted of trying new techniques. It was pretty repetitive for me, so I eventually got bored with it. It wasn't long before she had us doing actual projects, but I can never remember experiencing burnout in either of her classes. It wasn't until a few days later, in the midst of experiencing burnout, that I figured out why. The lesson I learned from this experience is to push yourself to try new techniques and mediums to avoid burnout. It's kind of like when you're in a long-term relationship and the spark starts to die down. Little things about your partner start to irritate the shit out of you until someone bosses up and takes you on a date to fucking climb mountains or some shit that neither of you have done before, and newsflash, the spark comes back and you learn something new about them. This is similar to the relationship we have with art. It takes being spontaneous to bring back that love you once had for art, as well as improvement by implementing it towards your next piece. Every time I'd finish an assigned project early, I'd turn it in and work on other assignments from different classes, even if it just meant taking notes for the week. It might be pretty weird, but I loved writing notes and copying things down. It was just something about keeping my hands busy and filling up a page that gave me sort of a dopamine rush. It's important to make sure that you don't devote all of your free time towards one thing. That's an easy way to experience burnout. I briefly talked about my planner in my last video. I mentioned checking everything off my list and feeling proud of myself afterwards. Believe it or not, from my experience, productivity can actually decrease burnout. Working on different projects that are non-art related and coming back to my creativity later on keeps my brain flowing. I don't feel the same exhaustion I would have felt if I was sitting at my desk for hours working on one thing. It's healthy to take breaks from activities you love sometimes, even if it's just to relax. The passion you have for art will still be there once you get back. I promise.